Good morning, Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room.
Such enthusiasm. Hi, Glenn.
Hello, Jerry.
Good morning.
And today we're going to be talking about cyberbullying. See how I'm going straight into it today?
Yes,
into it.
straight
Bam,
in.
we're
Because we
right
might
there.
not have enough time.
I
you
like
know?
the positivity, and then we're going into a topic that's like the bane of everyone's existence these days, especially, right?
True. Because everyone's been cyberbullied. Right, and of late, I think Joseph Schooling is getting cyberbullied as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Well,
So what's the definition
Yeah,
of
I was about to
cyberbullying?
ask, what is the
What is the
definition?
definition? And where does the line get drawn?
well, we know what bullying is, right? Bullying is when you attack another person, but this bullying occurs over the digital devices. Cell phones, computers, tablets. It can be anywhere. It can be on your WhatsApp, your email, your Facebook, your TikTok, Snapchat. It can be anywhere. So even your Instagram, right? So all these the forums. So the gaming forums and all the different platforms. So So cyberbullying, you would need to like send nasty tags, negative tags, you would post things about them, many different ways and forms, and I'm going to invite everyone to share what are the different ways that they have experienced.
Oh.
Where lies the difference between violent is the only word I can think of, a violent opinion and bullying. You know what I mean? Where I can get rough in language, but I'm just violently criticizing you.
Okay, so a criticism is constructive. So we want it to be constructive, but bullying is destructive.
Okay.
It has a
right.
destructive nature. It puts you down. It demeans you. It just rips you apart.
Okay.
But someone's
That's bullying.
constructive criticism may be destructive to you without the person actually knowing it. The person that's giving that criticism.
Sure.
So how?
Sure.
yeah.
So is it really how the so-called victim reacts to the statement or the
Okay.
action?
So if it's done once and the bully, or rather the person that is given the opinion is told stop and the person stops, it's fine. But usually in cases like that, it's very persistent. They would repeat their behavior over and over again. So bullying is when somebody tells you to stop and you don't stop.
Okay.
It doesn't matter whether it is cyberbullying. It doesn't matter whether it is emotional bullying, physical bullying, all the different sort of bullyings. When somebody tells you to stop, you stop. But when you persist, then it pushes into the realm of bullying.
Okay, that's interesting.
But for the case of all the people who have been criticizing Joseph Schooling,
Yeah.
would that be considered bullying though?
If they continue to do that, yes.
But this is society continuing to, or individuals continuing to?
So if the society continues to push, so there were different platforms, continuing to talk about it. There were different individuals who continue to feel that whatever that they said was justified and would not shut up.
But isn't it up to the person who is being bullied to say stop? If that person doesn't say stop,
Who's going to stop?
then
Or
other
block.
members of the public can't turn around and say stop bullying this person.
But most of the time we
that
don't.
person has
But most
to
of the
say
time we
stop.
don't engage.
Exactly.
So
that's my point.
Because the less you engage, the sooner it ends, I feel.
That's what a lot of people believe.
Okay, so Joseph Schooling is slightly different. It's very public, so there were many people standing up for him. But most of the time, we're talking about the vast majority, bullying goes quiet. It's very silent. So the one that is being bullied feels very isolated, feels very lonely. No one is standing up for them. So it doesn't matter whether it's cyberbullying or any sorts of bullying, right? Because it is a very isolating sort of experience. You are in it alone with the bully coming at you, and you have no way to fend the bully off.
Right. And are those that are bullied more likely to be more introverted? and that's why they don't say anything, because it really is for the bully to bully someone who allows themselves to be bullied, right?
Well, it doesn't mean that they are introverted. It probably means there are various reasons why they don't fight back. You know, perhaps they feel it's justified. Perhaps they feel that they are very, they themselves have a lot of self-doubt. They're very insecure. You know, they don't know who to turn to. They don't know where to report. And if you're on the internet, who do you report to? I mean, it was only recently that, you know, Facebook, Insta, they say, okay, you know, there's certain laws, or, you know, you can
Report abuse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or you can block them.
Report to the administrator, but and they have a team. I do know that they have a team looking out for any sort of bullying sort of behavior, or, you know, inappropriate sort of posts, right? But there are billions and billions of posts out there. They can't catch everyone.
Yeah,
You know, I think the problem here is everyone wants to be loved and everyone wants to be liked. If you have no expectations in those areas, you will have no problems. That's my
your
stand.
opinion.
That is my stand, because there are many people who cannot take it, and then there are other people who have really thick skin. You know, like myself. Let's continue to talk to Jerry about this on the Big Show TV. In the meantime, to train themselves so they won't be affected by bullying.
Does it start with
Cyberbullying.
Does it start with actually understanding why people bully? I mean, why do these people constantly want to troll and constantly want to give that sort of opinion over and over again, you know?
And can I just say this very quickly, okay? I prefer cyberbullying to physical bullying.
Well, I mean,
Right? I mean, think about it.
but that's mental versus physical, which is just as bad.
I don't think any
And
bullying is good.
psychological, you know.
I mean,
No
no
bullying
bullying
is
is good, but you had the choice. If you had the choice between being cyberbullied or physically bullied, which one would you choose?
Physically.
Because then you can hammer the guy
Yeah,
back,
but-
right?
but then- chance to whack
but
back,
then
huh?
Jerry, Dr. Jerry goes back to the saying of sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me, right? But it doesn't work like that in this instance.
I think it doesn't work that
For
way
some
in
people.
this day and age.
No, it
that-
doesn't.
But there's still so many people who are cyberbullied, but they don't care. They're like, forget it.
Yeah, there are people like that.
But there
yeah.
are just some people who get affected, you know, and,
Yeah.
and we are looking out for them.
I don't think there's any less way of being bullied, like whether it's physical or online, or you know, because it still affects you in different ways.
Why don't these people stand up for themselves? That's my question.
Okay, let me look at three. I know Angel asked about the bullies, but let me go with the key studies that I have and why I feel that it is important. Yeah. So, many years ago, I think a few years ago, one of the teens, I almost lost her. Almost. Okay. And when she came back from the hospital, I sat with her and asked her what happened. And she said, this, you know how teens are, right? So teenage love, you know, teenage crushes. And apparently another girl thought she stole. So my client stole her boyfriend. Okay, it was a misunderstanding. Okay, the girl was extremely jealous that the guy she likes spoke with my client. So what they did was to start an IG account and spam that account with
Oh my God.
posts,
no.
photos of her, you know, and rallied a lot of different people and a lot of hate posts.
Wow.
So this girl, so my client didn't know what to do, okay, because she thought it was warranted because she really did speak with the guy, okay.
She spoke with him. That was it.
Yeah, she spoke. I mean, they were classmates. What do you expect him
Yeah,
to do?
yeah.
You know, and I suppose the guy didn't dislike my client. You know, if not, he would avoid her like the plague, right? So, but what was very unwarranted was starting that new IG account, rallying everyone, putting up hate posts, but basically, just cornering her and making her feel so small and dirty and silly, and she didn't know who to turn to. Okay, and this is a school with cyberbully ambassadors. Just that, sometimes would you actually walk up to the ambassador and say someone is bullying me? Sometimes you don't know. You just feel that it is part and parcel of growing up. But she felt so cornered that she felt, life is just not worth it. And she just basically overdosed. Sister found her in a delirious state, called the ambulance and was whisked to A&E. Thank goodness they found her in time. So that one is, she was saved in time. But she really felt, that it was unwarranted. She really felt that she was cornered. So there's a teen. Now, just recently, a month plus back, a 20-plus-year-old lost his life. And this is not my client. My client recounted because he knew this boy. And this 20-plus-year-old youth was reaching out on a community on Facebook. But what he got was he was shut down by the community. I guess he was in a bad place, so his language also wasn't very nice. But the community kind of shut him down, tell him to go and die, So there were a lot of heated exchanges, according to the client. And then 24 hours after that post was put up, he was found dead.
Oh no.
Yep. And all the posts were taken down. And, but we lost someone just because, online, no one helped him but put him down.
Jerry, why do people do this? They go to a community online, which is so dangerous because you really don't know these people. Why don't these bullies go to family? Why do they go to people online?
So this youth actually went to a community that he knows.
Wow.
Yeah, so he actually know the members in there.
Oh wow! So they were kind of friends that bullied him.
It's like a society. Yeah. So the members know each other and they know them in person also.
So who can be held accountable for something like this? A cause of death because of bullying. Is there any law that can hold anyone? No, you're shaking your head.
No, I mean, how do you prove for this proof, right? It is your word, literally your word against my word.
And then also it's the way you react to the bullying, right?
Correct. But I guess whoever that said it knows it, right?
Yeah.
So one more case, if I may bring up, was also many years ago, a teen. And you know how teens are so vulnerable. So this is in the expat community, but she came here, a teenage girl, and she was chatting. She was very lonely. She was chatting to the friends in her school online. Okay, and the boys, with teenage boys with raging hormones, told her, take a photo of yourself naked.
Oh no.
Yeah, so she took a photo of her breasts and she sent it to the boy. The next day, when she went to school,
Everywhere.
She was so devastated. She sat on the overhead bridge. Thank goodness passerbys, spoke with her, talked to her, called the police, and got her down.
You see, this is again something, I'm sorry, it's going to sound brutal, but I don't understand why a girl would do that.
Because she's looking for acceptance.
Yeah.
She's
Wow,
looking
she
wants
for,
to be loved.
She wants to be loved. Yeah, I mean,
that is so sad.
and I mean, equally the boy as well. He's like, oh, don't worry, I won't show it to anyone. This is just between us. It's very manipulative.
Okay, hold on. We're going back on air.
Stand by.
In with Glenn, Angel, FD, Shaun, and Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room, and we're talking about cyberbullying this morning.
Yeah, it's a very difficult topic. And Dr. Jerry, I was asking you earlier, why do people bully, whether it's online or offline?
My notes, I'm flipping. Just in case you hear the noise and you wonder what is that, my notes.
It's okay. It's okay.
So why do people bully?
I've got 5 things, right? Actually, is it 5? Yeah, 5, 6 things. These are mindsets, actually. So one is revenge. They might have been bullied before. Okay, so people did it to me, so I am angry and I do it to other people, so I take revenge. Okay, sometimes I feel something done to me, not cyberbullying, but other things like this girl who thought that her boyfriend was being stolen. So I use the internet. I use a tool to take revenge. So they use the internet as a tool. Some people feel as if they are the judge. They feel like the judge. Justice and equality. So when they see something that, in their opinion, they need to raise up, they start to flame the other person. They use very strong words. They wouldn't let it go. And they think that it is their duty to fix things. But they don't realize that the other person, how they read it, might not be how the other person intended it to be. Okay? The other one is they want to feel power. They feel on the internet they are king. Okay? They dominate that conversation, because maybe they cannot dominate it anywhere else. So they are very capable in articulating, on the keyboard. So they feel a lot of power there. So the whole idea, I'm nothing till I do this, and there's always this response, right? Sometimes they do it because they think it's funny. They love the reaction. They love how people respond, how they grovel after that. Okay, so they think it's really funny. It's a joke. Life is a joke. So they push it in that way. But these people are very intelligent and very articulate, so they can elicit certain responses from the other person. Then we know that internet, you can be very anonymous.
Yeah.
Okay, and they hide behind that mask.
I find that so cowardice, though. I mean, to be a keyboard warrior, not to be out there and actually saying something to someone.
But I also feel like these days it's so easy. Just block the person, what?
But what about forums? People can actually go onto an open community forum and say something about you. Say on Facebook there's a group, or say now people are using Telegram to create groups and bully people.
But there's always a means to report or block, right?
Yeah, you block or you report, and you get out of that group so that you are no longer.
It seems easy enough, but I don't think it's that simple, though.
I think it is actually. Which is why I'm saying, right, there are certain types of people who are a bit more vulnerable.
Yes, absolutely.
Like the example you gave us, Jerry, earlier on about this girl whose peers asked her to send them a photo of her boobs.
Yeah.
Via what was it, WhatsApp or
whichever.
WhatsApp.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And then the next day she went to school, and she was
everywhere.
the most popular girl in school. Look, I mean, I'm not saying that she deserves it. But at the same time, I'm not saying,
Okay.
Angel, don't look at me like that. I'm not saying that she deserves it. But what I'm saying, if she didn't do that, she wouldn't be in that position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If someone
should
asked you to do that, Angel, when you were in school, would you have done that?
I don't know. I don't know because
I don't think you would.
Because it wasn't a community that asked. It was one person that she was probably in love with that asked her to do it, and now everything is exchanged over the telephone.
If I were a girl and someone asked me to send them a photo of me, nude,
That's
I
not
wouldn't believe it.
fair.
It's very
That's not fair,
it's very hard to
Glenn.
say. She could have been 13,
Because-
14 years old and she didn't know any better. And for us to be in our 40s and 50s and say, oh, well, you
I
almost
remember
is-
at that time, when we were in our teens, we had raging hormones as well.
Yes, but we didn't have digital devices. I think kids.
Okay, now
kids,
that's a fair point.
Yeah, kids live through a very, very different life now. A lot of it is online, less of it is offline.
I asked the question where, even at 13, how can anyone think it's okay to send a nude photograph to someone
Exactly.
else?
No,
and you cannot say that it's unfair, because you know why? I'm making this comparison because you have people who are completely innocent being cyberbullied.
Yeah.
And then you have people like this girl who may have made a mistake. And then she's being cyberbullied
Cyberbullied.
because of
She's
that
paying for
mistake.
it, yeah.
So it's very different to me, To me, it's like, okay, that one mistake, right, is the reason for her getting bullied.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cyberbullied.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there is the other innocent person, completely innocent, like the example that you cited. That girl who spoke to
to
someone
someone.
else's boyfriend and
Yeah.
was just tortured almost by another girl. That to me is someone who's innocent and getting cyberbullied.
So you're saying that the girl that sent the photo is not innocent?
I'm not saying that she's not innocent.
No.
I'm just saying that she did something to warrant something like that.
I can't say that because she trusted in the boy and she sent the photo to one. So I don't see it
But
as a mistake.
Don't you question a boy who says, send me a nude photo?
No, okay. I will speak for every teenage girl who's been 12, 13 years old, who's fallen in love. And, I didn't grow up with mobile phones and stuff like that where you can send photos and all that. But I can't say for sure that if I were her, I would not have done it.
That is a powerful statement.
And it's not
Yeah, boy.
because of my upbringing or anything. It's because I'm looking for love and I feel that this is the only way for the boy to accept me.
Boom.
Wow.
That's from me. That's what I feel. I can't say I would have done it. I can't say I wouldn't have done it, but I can almost see where she was coming
When we
from.
come back, we've got to get Jerry's comments
I
on
want to
this.
ask Jerry. Jerry, would you have done it?
Hey.
Would you have done it? I mean, we're still on air. I mean,
We're still on air.
still on air.
Yeah.
we need the answer on
Angel.
air.
Angel says she may have done it. She.
One would never know because
Yeah.
at that point in time you're not informed.
Yeah.
You don't know it's wrong until it's wrong. So yes, there might be sex education out there. There might be your the values that your parents impart to you. Just that at that moment, that's why it's called a moment of folly, right? So at that moment, you don't know whether it is right or is wrong. You just think that, oh, but this is someone that I trust.
Yeah. Exactly.
If I trust somebody, it's trusting someone with your secret.
Yeah.
Right? So if today FDII said, can I trust you with my secret?
And what is your secret,
Yes.
Jerry?
Not telling you, Glenn.
Yeah, it's very hard to tell what the girl's position was at the moment that she decided to send that photo.
Don't know.
It could have been the boy saying, I'm gonna love you forever if you do this, or if you want our relationship to carry on. I don't know. Nobody knows where she was at, whether it was mentally or emotionally.
I think FD and myself are on the same page today.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking right now, right, and all parents should just tell their kids, right, protect yourselves at all times.
Parents can say it 100 times,
Yeah.
and the kids will not listen.
I have got to tell you, I told all my kids the minute they reached puberty, anything concerning nudity, anything concerning sex, if it comes out of a boy's mouth, do not trust him. And I drove that into them.
No, that's a good good
That's a
statement.
very good point,
Yeah.
but I think that's missing today's point.
Yeah.
Bullying is bullying is
Yeah,
bullying.
that is true.
Whatever that initiated or ignited it, it's still bullying and cannot be
That
tolerated.
cannot be tolerated. I agree.
And if he had asked for the photo with the intention of spreading that photo to the rest of the school, that's a form of bullying as well. That he bullied her
absolutely.
No,
into
my-
sending the photo.
Absolutely.
My
That's what
point
we're
is,
saying.
he
should
asked
not-
for that
yes.
photo knowing he was going to send it.
Right.
Sorry?
So she
Yeah, yeah.
should
Asked
not.
for the photo knowing it.
Correct. So she should not have sent something like that to
Of
him.
course, she should not have sent it, but
This is a good one, Jerry.
it's all should have, would have, could have, right? I mean, the kid, I don't know how old she was.
No, you know how
and I
many
think
people
that's-
right now who are listening in are thinking, hey, you know what? This girl, if she has
Careful.
sent what do you call her what do you call naked picture out there, then she deserves it.
Careful, no.
She
Glenn,
deserves
you're
it.
right.
No, I'm saying there are people out there. I'm not thinking this.
that's
I'm
like-
saying there are people right now who are thinking that.
That's like- no, that's
that
like
the girl deserves it.
That's like saying a girl who wears a
Deserves
low
it.
top and a short
No,
skirt
that's
and
different.
gets attacked.
No, that's
no.
Which is the
completely
same-
different.
No, it's
that's
the same
completely
thing.
different. That's completely different.
Okay, I tell you what, let's go back.
Okay,
We'll
let's
come
go
back
back.
and continue this in a minute.
Yeah.
To admit,
All right.
in society today, Glenn is right. There are a lot of people who are thinking this. It is not right to think it,
Yeah,
but there are a lot of people thinking it.
exactly.
I think you have to agree with that.
Nowadays, different.
You know,
No, we're not talking about the young. We're talking about parents with teenage kids. They're in their 40s. They're thinking it.
Yeah.
They're thinking it.
There's,
I mean, parents
Let's-
must always
isn't
tell
they're
kids
thinking
that.
like if you don't want
Let's
to
not
be
pretend.
bullied, then don't do anything
Yeah.
to
That's
warrant
it's,
that
it's
bullying.
Yeah,
very
of
hard
course.
to say though.
Teaching lah.
Very,
It's
it's
Yeah,
very hard
but
to
I'm
say.
saying that there are people now who are thinking that. You see, you know what I mean?
I mean,
Okay.
you can raise your child to be
Okay, wait, let's let Jerry.
I agree.
Let
I
the
agree.
expert speak.
Okay, so I agree that we need to impart the values to the children. I'm not refuting that point. Okay, and should the girl, we can sit here and say, should the girl have done it? Should the girl not have done it? You know, again, we really don't know why she did it. We really don't know. So what today is a teen girl who we think was rational at that point. How about, we hear a lot of abuse of Down syndrome children, Down
yeah.
syndrome teens who find that concept very alien to them. And they get exploited for their bodies.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they give that. Are they at fault?
No,
I don't
that's
think
different because
are
they have
at
Down
fault.
syndrome. It's true. They have Down syndrome. So, I mean, but if you have a perfectly normal person, right? And the person does it, I'm saying society will judge. Society will not judge this Down syndrome person, but the society will judge someone whom they see as normal. This is what I'm saying.
I feel I'm being outweighed by the boys here because
I love the fact that Angel is here.
because yes,
No,
I
no,
know.
It's good that
Right?
you're putting
Anjali,
your
come
Yes,
over.
yes,
Come over.
absolutely.
I need Anjali's opinion because
Okay.
Anjali is 20.
Anjali will not
right?
be with you on this one.
Oh, well, let's see.
I don't know.
Anjali
She may
is
be.
20. She's closer to a teenage girl than I am, clearly. Not that far off, though. But Anjali, what is your opinion on what Dr. Jerry has said about this girl sending the photo? Should she, shouldn't have she? And the boy saying, if you've made a mistake, you pay for it.
No, that's
No,
not what we're
that's
saying.
not what
That's
we're
not what we're
saying.
saying. We're saying that.
That's what you
No.
indicated.
That's what was
Which is why,
indicated, for
which is
sure.
why
Yeah.
it's so difficult
Yeah.
speaking to women sometimes, because they
Watch
hear
it, watch
they
it.
hear a completely different thing.
Okay. Say what your stance is. Clear it up.
Okay, so this girl who sent out her photo,
Yeah.
right, to her boyfriend or whatever, of
her
her
boobs.
breasts,
Yep.
right? She got bullied.
Yes.
Right, as a result of that, because her scumbag of a boyfriend
Yeah.
went to send the photo out, right?
Yes.
So we are saying that because she did that,
Yeah.
all right, and she was getting bullied.
Yeah.
Society will go like, okay, she shouldn't have done that, and the reason for doing that is the reason why she's getting bullied. This is what we're saying.
Okay.
So there's a reason as to why she's getting bullied, and it was because of what she did.
Okay. I want
What
to hear
society sees
Okay.
as wrong.
Anjali.
I want to hear Angeline
Okay.
first, and then I'll give
I just-
another
Yeah, I just think it's very easy to say these things because you have the benefit of foresight. You have the ability and the maturity after all your years on earth to be able to say, we shouldn't do these things. But like Angel said, when you're very young, you don't know any better. And the fact of the matter is that the boy committed an illegal act.
Yeah.
Distributing photos like that is illegal. It's not illegal to send these photos because if you're in a trusted relationship, you will send these photos because you trust the boy. So I think the fact of the matter is that the boy did something illegal. So the fact that the idea that she sent the photo is kind of here nor there is the point that the boy distributed.
The action that he did.
It's
Well,
the
then
distribution.
maybe people should learn at that age not to send, nude photos of
Glenn,
each other.
then I will give another example because this is a 30-year-old man, okay, going through divorce.
Okay, another example.
30-plus-year-old
Okay. I'm like,
Okay.
what is this?
We've moved on.
Okay.
yes, 30-plus-year-old man. I'm just drawing another example.
Yeah.
It's closer to 40, yeah, and going through divorce. So now, because of his divorce, and it was very acrimonious, his credit cards, his emails, and everything got infiltrated. And we know what's that word called? Doxing, I think, where you spam a lot of emails into somebody's, just spam emails into somebody's email box, okay, and then you start spending a lot of money, just spreading around all the credit card number and everything, just putting it on different platforms, and you realize, oh my God, you're chalking up a lot of things, but it is your security number, it is your credit card number, and but this is done with a trusted, or this was given to a trusted spouse. Soon to be ex-spouse. So then, who is to blame here? The guy? Should we blame the guy for giving, and trusting this woman all these years, and they have children together? So what does that mean? When you're in a relationship, you're supposed to trust the other person, with all your vulnerability. Unless you're telling me we don't do that, but that's not what we teach our children. Yes, we say new,
And that was probably her most important point.
Yeah.
You were frozen.
Can you say
that
you're
again?
frozen, yeah.
You froze.
which part? I'm sorry.
Just the last
The
bit.
trusted, and then just the last 30 seconds or so.
Yeah. So when we are in a relationship, we're supposed to trust each other in our most vulnerable state, and we cannot blame. So whether it is a nude photo that I give in a trusted relationship, or a credit card number and my email that I give in a trusted relationship, is on a similar vein. You see, it is in a trusted relationship that I provide these very personal information, and I trust that it should not be used against me. So for this guy, he's struggling now because he's getting like hundreds and thousands of weird emails and and spendings on his credit. Of course, credit card you can cut.
Yeah.
But the other areas where you feel that you're violated and your privacy is invaded.
My take on this is, and I agree totally with what Glenn is saying with the nude photograph. I understand where Angel and Angelique are coming from, because maybe I'm older and I've had 4 girls, for God's sakes. It's the most scary thing you can have with children. But I personally feel that bullying cannot be generalized the way we're doing it now. It's across the same vein. It's all the same. It's not. Every instance is a specific instance, and it needs to be treated that way.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's not cross over.
And based on the examples, all the examples that we've been talking about, right? This 30-year-old guy and all the other examples. One example stands out, and that is the bearing of the boobs example, right?
Yeah.
That is the only example that society is now going like, hey, I think it's quite clear.
It's the way
What?
society thinks. Wait,
You see, everyone else is going, what? It's all pretending, no? They're all pretending.
I'm not
You know
pretending.
exactly
No,
what we're talking about. That example is clear. Although it was a mistake, it was a different type of mistake. I mean, we're talking about teenagers here being careless.
right. And this is where Matthew comes in and
Careless.
says, wait, this is where Matthew
we go
comes in.
back on air. We go back on air.
I'll tell you
For
what
this.
Matthew says in a moment.
Okay, read out those on air.
And also
It's Glenn, Angel, FD, and Sean. And Dr. Geraldine Tan and Julian Coe, who's joined us as well. Well, let's just get Julian involved
Wait,
in
before
all
we
this
get
as
into
well.
that, I understand where you guys are coming from, and it is a societal thing as well. This is where Matthew says, that's why we now have so much focus on mental health. Society expects normal people to be rational all the time. Is that realistic? Okay, that's concerning the girl with the boobs. Okay, that's just the girl with the boobs. The whole idea behind this is, and I think parents need to realize this, education system needs to realize this, it is not only about teaching morality and teaching values. It's the consequence of going against that morality and those values. That has got to be pushed across, and that is not pushed across.
Yes, you're right.
It is
No, I
not
agree.
pushed across.
You're absolutely right. And remember, the majority of people out there, once again, I'm talking about society, they are there to judge. They are there to condemn.
That's what they
They
do.
are there all the time. It's people like us in the media, right? We try to balance things out. You know, we try to understand. But the people out there don't give a damn.
I mean, people are always
The
waiting to see you fail.
Yes, the moment
right?
you make a mistake, they want to see you
remember that,
fail.
yeah.
And they will constantly just remind you, the keyboard warriors.
Yep.
You know, so what we're saying here is that try not to make that kind of mistake. You can make mistakes, but
Yeah.
try not to
Not to
make
make
that
the-
kind of
yeah.
mistake because society, they are going to kill you.
But the thing is, mistakes are only mistakes until you make them. You know what I mean? You can't
Which is
set
why I'm
out
saying it's very easy for us to say, Angel, because we're in the media, right?
Yeah.
We are very balanced. We know what's right. We know what's wrong. But the people out there don't care. They're just there,
Yeah.
ready to pounce.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
why bullying happens. That's
Yeah.
why
So don't give
cyberbullying
people
happens.
Yeah.
a reason to bully you. That's what we're saying, right? You need to think and
today, I agree with you. Don't give anyone a reason to bully you. But today, we're appealing for all the bystanders, the cyber bystanders, to do something. Because while all of you, you know, in the media, you're doing so much to remind us, we need the bystanders to do something also.
yeah.
You know, so that you know the bullet, you know, can have some space and can have some space of safety. You know, if not, then who dares to go out there? Who can we depend on, right?
Yeah.
And
And-
everybody just becomes a bystander.
And let me just tell you, Jerry, it's not easy for us in the media as well. You know, we get bullied, so to speak, all the time, right? I mean, I don't know about my colleagues, but I'm very thick-skinned, you know. So you bully me, that fuels me, you know. I love it, right? But there are people who don't like it. Like, for
Yeah.
example, the whole Joseph schooling saga, right?
Yep.
All of us
Yep.
were backing Joseph because we really love him. But we got condemned by some members of the
Yeah.
public saying,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, the media raised the expectations of Joseph, and that's the reason why the whole nation is upset." Now, what do you expect us to do? We genuinely love him, and we really wanted to see him do well, you
Yep.
know, and we're getting condemned for that, you know, by
for being encouraging. Yeah.
you know, sometimes we go on air and we say nice things about our government because they're doing all these things, you know, to help us during this COVID-19 pandemic. And we get condemned as well, you know, saying that we're brown-nosed, we're sucking up
Yeah.
to the government and stuff like that. You know, it's not easy for us.
Nope.
It really isn't.
But
You know?
this is where some of them, what you just described, belong to the I'm nothing till I can comment on all these. So they feel the power in their words. Yeah,
But to me, Jerry, there's no power when you stand behind anonymity.
no.
No, there's none. No.
There is no
Show
power.
your face, right?
And that's what
Yep.
people have got to realize.
And I
Yeah.
try to understand these people as well because maybe all these people are going through a hard time, and so, they feel there's so much anger in them, there's so much hate. So when they bully people, right, it's like a release for them.
Yeah.
I'm not justifying their actions, but I'm trying to understand why people are so mean these days.
I don't know. And you were talking about, backing the government and everything. And that's precisely what sparked off my thought why I wanted to do cyberbullying today. Because last week when I came on the big story, after the minister's speech. And then I was so happy that, finally mental health is being spoken in Parliament, so publicly and, so blatantly. And I only had two questions to answer. One, what I think of the minister speaking. Two, what I think of the teachers and the parents. So my answer was, I'm very happy that, it's spoken in Parliament. One. Two, that the teachers had really stepped up and done a great job, because they are still struggling. And then I had people, so I went back and read the comments and everything, and people were saying, oh, this interview is all about praising the government. And I was like, oh,
you're missing the point.
I'm missing the point completely, right? And then, then it persisted with, you think if she don't do that, she can come back, meh? And I was like, what kind of...
Yeah.
I'm adding my accent in it. Obviously, words don't have accents, yeah?
Yeah, that's all right.
So you were bullied too?
Well, I think it wasn't really bullying, but I did feel how some people who were, are relentlessly being battered by words online would feel. Because I felt I had no one to turn to. I felt very angry because they were missing the point. I felt like you don't know me for Adam, so why are you commenting? I felt that you've got nothing else better to say. Don't say, shut up.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, well done. Wow. Look, Jerry's got an angry side.
I love it.
Yeah, and then someone sent in a quote. Bullying is not a reflection of the victim's character, but rather a sign of the bully's lack of character.
So, one last question I have for you. Is there anything, and people are going to go, what? We talk about the bullied, the bullied, the bullied. How can we help the bullies?
Love them. Kill them with kindness.
Yeah, like what I said just now, right? I mean, I'm sure they have a reason because they're angry.
They're not loved.
They're angry because things are not going well in their lives.
So
you
hurt people.
You will be surprised.
Yeah.
Yes, you will be surprised. I did have a few cyberbullies come to me and say, I actually don't really want to do it. And I say, okay, let's work with you on it. What is happening? Many of them are very insecure. Many of them, I work to build up their confidence, their self-esteem. I work through issues because they have specific issues that they latch on and they wouldn't let go. So we work through those issues. So that's why the bystanders are so important, because these bullies are being told, hey, by their partners, hey, please go and look for some help. This is not good behavior. So the bystanders are really important in any sort of cyberbullying or bullying sort of behavior, because if it is your friend, your partner, call it out to them, let them know that it is bullying, stop them, find out why they have a need to do that behavior, because sometimes they don't know why they need to do that behavior. It's not all disorders and impulsivity, and we love to blame that, right? So it's not that. Sometimes they have been very hurt before, and they really need to work through that.
You know what, Jerry? Let's do it again next week. How about that?
Yeah.
Let's do like physical bullying and cyberbullying, for next week.
Yeah,
I think this is a great topic.
I'm going to give Dylan his time. I just have a very last quote,
Sure.
okay?
Please.
So what I learned from last week, because I sat with it for a really long time, and then I found this Buddhist proverb. I think it really applies on the internet. So on the internet, you have no friends, you have no enemies, you only have teachers. And I learned a lot from last week.
Oh,
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome.
Okay.
Can't
Well,
wait for next week.
thank you very much, Jerry, for joining us. We'll talk a lot more about bullying because I think there's so many things
So many things.
that we wanted to talk about, but
Yes.
obviously, I mean, there's no time. So
Thank you.
thank you.
for having me, and thank you, Julian, for being so patient.
No, it's okay. Anytime. I've been bullied before as well on YouTube, but it happens. It happens.
I was going to say you would because you put content up. So there are
Yes.
people,
Yeah.
there are haters and
Trolls.
lovers
Yeah.
and stuff.
But you
Even
okay,
for the
right?
article, even for the articles, right? If I had a chance, I actually replied a couple of them before. I said, why don't you give me your name and number and we can meet up and talk about it? He didn't reply.
Of course,
He didn't.
of course.
Yeah, he didn't.
Okay.
That's a good response.
All right, Jerry, see ya.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right, Julian, very quickly.